Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry today. Today for our project we're going to make bookmarks or / journal tags because I added some coffee dyed paper to the back. So even if you are using them in your books and you want to make a note about something that you're reading, then you have space to write it on. And it's going to be different today because I generally don't do much stamping, but today on our bookmarks we're just going to use some cardstock and book page, like I say, coffee dyed paper on the back, and then I'm just going to stamp some pictures or sayings on them, and we'll do them a couple of different ways. You can just leave them where they're just inked, so you have just like your background. Or on one or two of them, we might use some colored pencils and color them in a little bit and see how they look like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The size that I made, the cardstock is about 6.5 inches long, 2 inches wide, and then the book page and the coffee dyed paper is the same size, and it's about 6 1/8 inch wide, no, 6 1/8 inch long, and about 1 5/8 wide. Now you can make these however wide and long, skinny and narrow, however you want to make them. And then for the reinforcements, I just cut some of the cardstock and put them on there. Now I used baker's twine on this tie, and I also have some of this twine. It's like a heftier twine, so we'll see what that looks like also. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I have everything cut out, and I'm not going to ink anything. I don't think I want to ink on this project. So before we stamp, we'll go ahead and glue the papers down. Now this one is cut just a little bit narrower because I cut one wrong, so I cut other ones, so I'm not going to waste this one because you really can't tell a whole lot. So I'll just go ahead and use this one anyways, and it'll be just fine. So I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue them down. I just thought this would make something a little bit different for a change. No, I shouldn't have done that because, well, that's all right. I wanted to round the corners first, so I'll leave this one. I'll just leave these corners square also. If I round my back page, I like to also round the page that goes on top of it, or the paper. But I might as well just start this video right off doing something wrong, huh? And that's okay, we'll just move on past it. Now I have a wet wipe up here because when I use glue stick, my fingers just get so gluey and sticky. I could just go ahead and barely break the edge on these corners. I think that'll be okay. Probably should wait for the glue to dry a little bit, but yeah, that looks okay. All right. Now, before I forget, on the back, I added a little flower. So if I don't do the little flower now, I'll forget. And you can do your inking in any color you want. I just did mine all in black. But you can, you know, do them different colors for the different things that you're going to be stamping. This one here, I didn't think I liked this bird, and I liked this Enjoy Life. This bird here, I think that stamped just a little too, when I first did it, it was really, really dark. And I didn't like how this stamped. I might have pushed on it a little too hard, or I might have put too much ink on my stamp. I don't know. Me and stamps, it's just a new thing. So we just have to get used to all of this stuff, I guess. I got this acrylic block at the Dollar Tree. I only had one small one. I don't want to use that little guy on this one. This is too narrow. So let's see. This is some kind of a flower. So we'll probably put the flower and the flower. I don't know. I need to get into stamping a little bit more, I think. Yeah, we'll give it a try. We'll see how it works out. And this is really sticky. I got a lot of these at a yard sale. I'm afraid I'll put too much ink on them, but then I want to have enough. Now that's pretty. Oh, I like that too. Just want to make sure I wipe my stamps off as I'm using them. Now let's see, we'll do this one. Now some of these I got at the Dollar Tree. I think for Dollar Tree stamps, they look pretty good. Now see, that one there got kind of heavy. Maybe I put too much ink on it. We'll just put a little on this one and see how it goes. Probably won't have enough on it now. Yeah, come out kind of heavy. These are kind of solid on top. So that could be why. But I think on these ones, we'll just use our pencils and kind of color them in a little bit. I don't know for sure if these are leaves down here, but we'll just put a little green on them. And I'm not an artist by no means, but I like to color. Some people do a lot of this stuff and they paint. I'm not good at painting at all. And then we can just add some other little colors in here. I don't think that pink is showing up very good. And I didn't want anything to be, you know, super bright on them, just something to give them a little bit of color. Maybe because the glue is still wet on the back of this paper. I don't know, these pencils are generally darker than this. Let's see. This one's kind of dark up here. And this orange is pretty bright, so we'll just kind of shade it in with the orange. How many of you like to color? I think it's a pretty good pastime. Although I don't do too much of it anymore. My daughter and my grandkids and I, we went through a spell where we had a whole bunch of the adult coloring books. That was a lot of fun. Let me just put a little green in there. There. So I think that gives it a little bit different look. Now let's see. Let me go over this with this blue and see if it shows up a little bit more. Kind of blends in with the color of the green. Okay, so now we'll just punch our hole in the top and add our reinforcements. Now I put one on the front and one on the back. Because it is only paper, and if you use it quite a lot, you know, it could tear. This one here is set up a little bit higher. I wasn't paying attention when I first did that I should have made my hole down a little bit lower. But, you know. All right, so now when I cut these holes out, all I did was just use my paper punch, cut out my small hole, and this is just about 1/2 of an inch paper punch. And then I just shoot it right down on the floor. And that's all you do to make them. Or if you're real good at cutting circles, you could just cut the circle, but I'm not good at that. So we'll put one on the back. And it doesn't take long to make these either. If you have a paper cutter, you can do almost, you know, pretty much all of your cutting on your paper cutter. And if you don't have one, you just, you know, use a ruler, measure it out, and cut it out with your scissors. That doesn't take long to do that either. So I think that looks good. And if you thought that it needed inked, you know, you could ink it. Now I already have a piece of this cut because I wanted to see what it looked like on that. So we'll put that on this one. And if you're worried about the ends fraying, you can just put a little glue on the tips, or you can make them a little bit longer and tie a little knot in them. You can put ribbon in there. Ribbon would look nice too. So there, kind of plain. but cute all at the same time. All right, so now let's see what else we can get into. Oh, I did it again. Well, let me just round my corners because I want my corners rounded. I think they look nice when they're rounded, but that's personal preference. You can or you don't have to. I do a much better job with the corner rounder. And if you don't have a corner rounder, you find something small, set it down in the corner of your paper and just draw a little circle and cut around it. In the past, I did that quite often. See, now when I cut these, I cut them so they was just a little bit narrower than that first one that I made. The first one was kind of just my practice run, but I think it turned out good. So now we'll cut our corners. There we go. Now I could have had that up a little bit higher, but it's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. With the holidays coming up, bookmarks, especially if you have an avid reader, would make excellent gifts. Make them a set of bookmarks. Well, there we go. I didn't cut them either. I'm not paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing here. So that's not a very good corner. Okay, now let's try this again. Them corners on that paper are not good at all. I do a better job when I do all my prepping in advance, but sometimes I still get messed up. All right, now let's do our little flower. Make sure I have it right side up. And I wouldn't necessarily have to do just a flower, but I think I like the little flower. Use that on quite a lot of stuff where I need something on a little journal page. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead, punch our hole before we do any stamping. I don't think I did that last time. If you like what I'm doing today, I ask that you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I just ask that you subscribe. really have fun doing videos. Turn that up that way. It won't show up as much. Okay, now let's see what we want to do on these. Now these stamps here are different. These might hang over just a little tiny bit, and if they do, that should be fine. But they stamp a little different. So we'll try it like that. I still like to figure out what I'm doing before I do it. And they're really sticky. I just think that's pretty. I got more ink on that side, unless it's just because it's still wet. I like that. Okay, now let's see. Well, we better do them as we go. I better take that one off of there. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Go up just a little bit on this one. And there we go. I really like that one. I like that one a lot. Now, if you wanted to color some of these in, you could, if you wanted to highlight them a little bit. I think I'm just going to leave this one like that. And I think I'm going to use this heavier twine again. I'm impressed with that. I like that. You could just leave them hang up like that. You can tie them in a bow. You can do different things. Whatever you wanted. Very nice. I like that. Okay. Now let's see. What can we do with this one? Well, first off, I'm going to round the corners so I don't forget. Does anyone else make bookmarks? And if you do, what kind do you make? This could also be one of them mass make projects. Cutting everything out goes really, really fast. Putting everything together doesn't take that much time. Just depends on how long you fool around with it. Sometimes that takes me a few minutes, but you have to enjoy what you're doing. That's the wrong side. I didn't want that side. I have glue on it now. But like I say, you have to enjoy what you're doing. Okay. Now we'll put this on the back. And you can also on the back, you can leave the black, well, okay. You can leave the backs blank. You don't have to put paper on them, especially if you're not gonna, you know, use them for writing on. Or you can put lined paper on them. Just all sorts of ways. Just use your imagination. Got that one kind of close to the edge. I knew I was going to do that. Almost out of glue stick. Put all 3 layers together. It makes it kind of thick. I think I got that hole up a little high too. Just matches the first one I did. Okay, now let's see, what do we want to stamp on here? I have this little mouse, and his tail is kind of long. I'm not real sure if he's going to completely fit on there or not. And then this is parsley. I could probably put the parsley down below. I think the little mouse is eating strawberries. And let me see. I don't think I'm gonna put that wreath on there. That'll be too big. We'll just add another little flower at the top. But the mouse is a little bigger, so we'll put him in the center. So So I think we'll do him first. And then we can color this one in a little bit. His tail's gonna go off on the side, but that'll be all right. There we go, he's cute. Okay, so now we'll do the parsley. And that one's really cute. Minnie likes to do stamping. And that looks good. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything like that, put them down in the in the comment section. Love to hear from you. Now let's see. I think we'll just. I think my other green is a little darker. We'll just color these leaves in. Greens on the strawberries. This could be another good pastime. Just stamp stuff and color it in. I saw some different things where you stamp like this and then you color the stuff in. The red is brighter. I just grabbed colored pencils when I was grabbing them. I didn't get any gray. I think we'll just do this little guy brown. I think mice are cute on paper. I don't like it when they run around in my house. We had some problems with mice a while back. I didn't like that at all. There now, he's cute. And then this, you can just kind of highlight the black a little bit. It'll show up somewhat. And we'll just make another little orange flower. I like orange. Okay, there we go. Now we just have to put our tie in. Now I think I'm going to try doubling this time. See what it looks like with 2 lengths of it. I think the color goes good with the cardstock. I don't always have colors that match, but them go good together. Yeah, I like it thicker. I like it like that. Okay. So I think that's all we're going to do today, because it's just kind of repetition. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. I think it was fun. Something different. We all need a little different from time to time. So there's the 3 that I made. And there's my prototype. And I think them look really nice. So just let me know down in the comments what you think. And I hope everyone comes back and joins me for my next project, and we'll see where that takes us. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and happy crafting. Bye for now.